Jesus says, love your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. So he's saying how to love God beyond mind's realm. You have no need to do anything beyond the realm of the mind. The mind is immense. There is no need to talk of stuff beyond the mind. Who knows whether there is any stuff beyond mind? And if there is stuff beyond mind, it anyway cannot be talked of. Why? Because it is beyond mind. And if it is beyond mind, how are you imagining or verbalizing it? So, drop the fascination for the transcendental. Firstly, let's come to the mind itself. You are saying, Jesus says, love your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength. It seems he is talking of things well within the mind. All your strength, all your heart, all your soul. And that is enough. Nobody is asking you to follow the truth that is unknowable, beyond your capacity of conscious understanding. Your job, as far as you are concerned, in your limited way, is to do what in your limited way you know to be right. The question is not whether you are doing that which is absolutely right. The question is whether you are doing that, even that, which you relatively know to be right in your limited capacity. Are we getting it? There is no need to look for metaphysical intelligence. There is no need to look for otherworldly guidance. You have your own personal, limited, conditioned intelligence, right? At least that much you have. The question is, have you done justice to even that which you have? It's like a boy saying, I failed the exam because I could not get the 20 reference books that were mentioned at the end of my textbook. Dear chap, could you even read the textbook? You are talking of all the advanced books just to hide the simple fact that you did not take even the first step. Not having read even the textbook, you are talking big of the 20 reference books. Had you read even the textbook, a beginning would have been made, and who knows what the beginning would have led to. We know what is right this moment. in our distorted way, in our personal way, in whichever way. But you do have some hint, an inkling, a vague sense. Don't you have that? Why don't you follow that? Why do you say that you are waiting for absolute clarity? If you want to know the way to a very cherished destination, a place that you really want to go to, and if you do not get a very knowledgeable or certified guide, would you not move at all? Or would you try to ask from here and there, get some limited knowledge, and somehow make your way? Yes, if you take 10 steps, maybe 3 or 4 would be in oblique or wrong directions. But still, relatively, you would have made some progress. But look at the way we live. We keep standing at our place of suffering and illusion. And what is our excuse? I do not have full clarity right now. You do not have full clarity regarding movement. But you have full clarity regarding standing still, right? Regarding this, you have full clarity. How have you chosen to not to act if you have no clarity? You are still making a decision, don't you see? If you have zero clarity, how are you making a decision? But you make a decision every moment in favor of that which needs to be repudiated, and that which needs your endorsement, your support, your surrender, only gets your disdain. You will never be held accountable for not doing that which was anyway beyond your power. Because if it is beyond your power, why should you be held guilty for not doing it? But you would be held every bit accountable for not doing the little things that you could surely have done. Your fault is not that you could not achieve God. Your fault is that you do not know even the earth, yourself, and this common life. Your fault is not that you are not well versed with the great scriptures, with the Ribhu Gita, with the Upanishads. Your fault is that you do not know what takes you to the general store, what makes you look at certain objects, and why you are tempted to buy certain things and ignore certain things. If you do not know of the skies, nobody is going to punish you. If you get punishment, it is because you do not know even the earth. Know the earth and the sky, then anyway on its own opens up for you. The sky is anyway not going to be a subject of your inquiry. It's too vast to become a subject. But why haven't you inquired into the mind, not that which is beyond the mind. The question is, why haven't you asked, what are these thoughts? Why do I live this way? What makes me laugh? What makes me cry? What am I afraid of? Why do I look this way? Why do I wear this? Why do I run away? If you do not know God or the Holy Spirit or the various details of samadhis, no issue at all. But why don't you know what makes you live your life the way you do? What makes you go to that place every day you call it office? What makes you return every day to the set of people you call as your friends or family? What makes you live and behave in your patterns? These are the questions you should have asked, and all of this stuff is very much within the mind, not beyond the mind. Your syllabus is the mind. If a question about the beyond mind comes, it is out of syllabus for you. You won't be penalized. Just ignore that question. Not only can you not answer that question is actually unanswerable, because the beyond is unknowable. Even the Buddha would not take up questions that pertain to the metaphysical. You go and ask him, is there God? He would remain silent. But he was greatly concerned with questions of this life, this earth, this soil. He would say, look at your eyes. Why are they the way they are? He would say, look at your voice. Why does it tremble the way it does? He would say, look at the young man, look at the old man, and understand what has brought them to their condition. These are the questions that you must genuinely inquire into. All else is just holy escape. Because you want to run away from that which is direct and immediate, so you are seeking refuge in big words. You are talking of beyondness and such stuff. You haven't even come to the boundary. How are you talking of stuff that is beyond the boundary? Have you even come to the limit of anything, I ask you? Have you? Have you come to the limit of bodily persistence? Have you come to the limit of knowledge? Have you come to the limit of endurance? When you haven't come to the limit of anything, not even remotely close you are, then why are you talking of the beyond limit? Does it behove you? Yes, but it is fashionable and it boosts the ego. Why talk of this room? Talk of what lies outside the door. As if you know this room. As if you know even where the door lies. But no. Why make the honest effort of inquiring into the relevant, into the contextual, into the nearby, into the immediate. Why make that honest effort? Let's rather dream of the sky that lies outside the room and write poems in its praise. That poems earn us respect. By talking of the limitless, we are falsely making the claim that we have come to the limit. We are falsely making the claim that we have lived a life true, energetic, effortful. If someone comes and tells you, I have seen the limits of knowledge, you would say he is arrogant. Because knowledge appears so vast, so limitless. And you'd immediately know that the chap is boasting. He's showing off. If he says, I have come to the limit of knowledge. So why should the chap risk being termed arrogant? He would rather cunningly say, I am now inquiring into that which is beyond knowledge. Now this appears quite scholarly, spiritual, and not so arrogant. Know your thoughts, know your emotions, know your livelihood, know your clothes, know your family, know your purpose, your movement, your temptations, your fears. And then there is no need to know the truth or God. Spare them. Know that which can be known, which must be known. You do not know the stories that are running through the web of your mind, but you know of the holy myths and the stories contained in the Jatak tales, the Purans. All those stories you know of. The 70th birth of the Buddha, you are very well aware of. And then what did Parvati say to Lakshmi? You know of all that gossip. What you do not know of is the stuff of your own mind. Like someone who brags about the entire universe and does not know what is right under his feet. Bulle Shah puts it so pithily. घर बैठे नु पढ़िया ही ना. बुल्ले शाह आसमानी पढ़िए, घर बैठे नु पढ़िया. Talk of this, talk of that. What is the difference between the fourth heaven and the seventh heaven? And you know everything of that difference. And what is it that you do not know of? You do not know why there are tears in your eyes. You do not know why your voice chokes. You do not know why you get those dreams. These things you do not know. But you know of all the holy tales and the lovely aphorisms. If it is Sanskrit, you know of it. If it is Arabic, you know of it. If it is Hindi, you don't know. Come back to yourself. And when I say come back to yourself, I do not mean come back to Atma. I mean come back to your life as you live it. As you breathe, as you eat, all that which is personal, all that which is experienceable, come back to that. You live in that, and that rightfully deserves your attention. But that sounds boring, right? Because we are boring. So our lives are boring. So inquiring into ourselves is boring. Hence, what do we want to think of? The seventh and the fourth heavens. I've never seen your own face clearly in the mirror, but you want to worship the deity, the stone. It is not as if beyondness is untouchable. But beyondness is not something that you would leap up to. Please. Otherwise, why would it be called as beyondness? You can go only up to the limit. And thereafter, whatever happens, just happens. It does not happen by virtue of your doing. It does not happen because you desire the happening. It just happens on its own. Call it magic. Call it grace. When it is not in your control, when it is not of your accord, why do you waste time thinking about it? Will you know God's ways ever? So instead of trying to scrutinize God's ways, why don't you learn your own ways? Maybe that would help. But no, we are like detectives prying upon God. What does he do? How does he think? Why did he make the world? What is he going to do next? You do not know what you are going to do next. But you want to know what God would do next. Why did God take exactly 6 days to make the universe? Why not 5.5? Do you know why you have 5 fingers? Do you know why you do nothing with those 5 fingers? So, Paulson, Love God with all that you have. And if you do not have something, why think about it? If you have little intelligence, love God with a little intelligence. If you have only 10 rupees, love God with your 10 rupees. If you have 10 rupees, why break your heart complaining that you couldn't love God with a million? Do you have a million? If you don't have a million, love God with the little that you have. Full stop.